Hey, I'm here with John Ondrasik from Five for Fighting. We're backstage at the Northfield Park Racino. John's about to go on stage with Edwin McCain on this tour. Tell us a little bit about this tour. What are you excited about?
It's been a blast. I mean, Edwin and his guys are awesome. To hear I'll Be every night, I always get a little choked up. The crowds have been great. It's a lot of fun, kind of taking turns headlining and going back and forth. And as I said, it's always great to be back in the bus with the boys.
Are you looking forward to anything in particular coming up on this tour? Any particular stop or?
Well, I think I enjoy going to towns I'd never been to before.
Mm-hmm.
We were just up kind of at the tip of Michigan, which was really fun, and we'll be heading to Cincinnati tomorrow, and I'm excited about Grater's ice cream because I always go there first.
There you go. That's a good reason to visit Cincinnati. Yeah. How about outside of the tour? What's coming up after that for Five for Fighting?
Well, we're in the process of putting together something for USA 250. So look for us on July 4th. Looking to do something with the Navy and celebrate our troops, our sailors, and our veterans. So that's something we're really excited about.
I think that's great. You've done a lot of work with like the Gary Sinise Foundation. You've done a lot of work around veterans and celebrating the active military as well. I think you've never really shied away from messaging in music either. And your music has inspired and really been an anthem for everyone from first responders to military members, people around the world. Why do you think music has that particular power to speak to people in that way? And why do you feel like that's a responsibility that you carry as a musician and a songwriter?
I think everybody can do it their own way. I don't think anybody's obligated to do anything. I certainly have a great love and respect for our troops, and I've been honored to perform for them, my whole career, and tell their stories and get to know them. I have no military in my family, but as you mentioned, my pal Gary Sinise and I think we understand that the blessings we have, the freedom we have, at the end of the day, depends on our troops and their families. So they allow us the freedom of speech to get up and say whatever we want, and people can get mad or be excited about it. And so, again, I think it's easy to do. And tonight we'll be doing a song called Two Lights that really recognizes our military families. So we always do at least one song per show that salutes our troops.
I think that's awesome. You're also quite a voice in terms of human rights around the world. You speak out on issues like Gaza and what's going on in Iran. How do you feel like the music industry should be responding to the times that we're in globally?
Well, again, I think if you look back in history, you get a sense of the times from the music of the times. If you go back to the Civil Rights era and you listen to the songs, the Vietnam War, you listen to the songs. So I think, again, my voice is not any less or more important than anybody else's, but I just have a certain point of view, and again, I'm not afraid to use it. I tend to be in the minority these days of certain issues, but that's part of America. That's part of the freedom we're celebrating USA 250, and whether it's our Afghan veterans or the Jewish people around the world or the Ukrainian folks. Again, I like to align myself with the good guys, and I like to write songs that support them.
Mm-hmm. So, John, besides Grater's ice cream, what keeps you going? Like, at the end of the day, like what sustains you?
Yeah, I think musically, knowing every night there's going to be someone out there in the audience that's only going to see me once in my lifetime, and I feel I owe them my best effort, and the fact that and Edwin would say this too, the fact that, 25, 30 years later, people are still coming and singing our songs with us is something we don't take for granted. It's truly a blessing. So I think as long as folks enjoy it, I certainly enjoy it. I like the camaraderie with the band and talking to folks, and frankly, seeing the young generation who frankly weren't born yet when I wrote these songs singing along. So I think, all of that stuff, keeps me inspired, and I still feel, my best song is yet to be written. So I still feel that I have something to say. And as I said, as a songwriter, to have hit songs is great, but to have, 30, 40-year career is, I think, what we all dream about.
Let's see. I imagine it probably should be in a key of D, which is kind of a melancholy key. So let me see. Deep breath. How about? No, that would never work. No, maybe the key of G. Between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the way you are. I'm wanted to for a moment, and she feels better than ever, and we're all making our way back from our hearts. There's still time for you, time to find, time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. You guys sound good, man. I'm 33 for a moment. I'm still the man, but you see I'm a lady, a kid on the way, babe, a family on my mind. I'm 45 for a moment. The sea is high, and we're headed into what I said, chasing the years of our life. There's still time for you, time to find, time to lose yourself within a morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. That time goes by suddenly, your eyes are numb, blink of an eye. 67 is gone, the sun is getting high. We're moving on.
I love to hear that you are writing songs still.
Yeah.
What's can we expect some new music at some point?
Yeah, I think at some point, I've been dabbling on this tour. We get the keyboard in here, and I have a few things, and I think eventually they'll come out. I have so many obligations and so many things within music and outside of music that takes up so much of my time. But I've been in the studio with my daughter working on some of her music, and it's really kind of, gave me the bug back to get back in the studio and that whole experience, which again is very special. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next year or two you'll hear some new Fight for Fighting songs, and some may be about the world, and some probably won't be.
Yeah, well, that's great. I love to hear that you in the studio with your daughter too. I bet that's a really special moment.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, growing up with you and around music and everything, that's something that you've imparted on her.
Yeah, well, again, she has the passion for it. Mm-hmm. We certainly didn't push our kids into the arts, and we certainly didn't try to dissuade them from the arts. And she's a much better songwriter at her age than I was at her age, and she opens for us with her folk band Lace and Lee on the string quartet tours. But now she's kind of been doing some more kind of pop, esoteric music, that rock that we've been working on, and so it's great. I mean, we kind of live through her vicariously, and she works hard, and she understands that a lot of this has nothing to do with talent. It's about work ethic, relationships, perseverance, and I think she has all those things.
Yeah, people sometimes say if you could go back 30, 40 years from now and tell your younger self something, give yourself a lesson, tell yourself to watch out for something that may be coming. I mean, you sort of have, in a way, an opportunity to do that with your daughter as she's starting out in the music career. What lessons have you imparted to her? Like, what have you given her any kind of advice about what to avoid or what to lean into?
One thing I do tell her is, find time to enjoy what you're doing. I think particularly the younger generation these days always, they want immediate satisfaction. And if you don't have 1 million followers by the time you're 22, you're a failure. And that's not how the world works. And especially in the arts, there's no guarantee. It's not necessarily a meritocracy. It's a lot of it is fluke, fate. For me, I didn't have a hit song till I was 30 years old, which is very rare. So, but you do it because you love it, and there's bad time, there's rejection, there's all that stuff. But enjoy what you're doing, because it is a blessing to be able to do it. And I would tell myself the same thing. Quit future tripping, quit dwelling on the past. But that's what my songs are about, right? So I'm writing myself these little post-it notes, anyways, and I probably would have done a little more collaborating. And but you know what? I have no regrets. I wouldn't change a thing. And again, it's her career. She does it her way. And I love letting her find her own way. So I don't give her a ton of advice.
Yeah. Who do you think, is there someone out there that you'd still really love to collaborate with? How about something with Edwin?
Well, we get up on stage and sing together every night, you know, so we have a lot of fun together. And what a great singer he is. And one thing I see every night is what an amazing entertainer he is. He is funny. He is smart. Obviously the band is incredible. His bandmates have been with him for decades. So it'd be great. We did a show the other night, and Brian from the Verve Pipe was actually there too. So we all kind of were reminiscing about the days where you would hear our songs back to back to back, on AC radio.
Belong together, trust it out with the trappings of love. We captivated, hang from your left, stared on the gas of heartache, hang from love. And I'll be your crying shoulder.
But yeah, as I said, I'm always looking to be inspired and find new opportunities. And, maybe I'll sit down with Paul McCartney and write something. That's always been a fantasy of mine.
Yeah. Is there a new artist, someone that's up and coming that, besides your daughter, that you'd like to call out that you think is really doing something special right now?
I don't even know what's going on, in the music world these days. To me, Ray LaMontagne is a new artist. That's how out of the loop I am. But my daughter will play me stuff once in a while and be like, "Oh, that's cool," or "That's cool." And the nice thing about kind of the internet age is you don't need a record company to find an audience. So that's a long answer to say I have no idea.
All right, cool. John, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to end with my question I ask everybody, which is, John, what's your everything after?
I think again, if it's about kind of what's the big picture, again, and it's sometimes it's hard to walk the walk or talk the talk, but I think having a certain gratitude for what you have, there's always problems. We always have challenges. Some people have very serious challenges, but for me, whenever something doesn't go well or show goes bad or something, I remind myself how fortunate I am. Not just in my personal life, but living in the greatest nation that's ever existed and the freedoms we have and having that gratitude, I think gives you perspective on, we have problems, we have things that go wrong. And, but at the end of the day, they typically are pretty small things and try to keep that perspective.
My knee-jerk reaction in the morning is to run wide-eyed towards the sun. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. I'm just out to find the better part of me. I'm more than a bird. I'm more than a plane. I'm more than some pretty face beside a train, and it's not easy to be me. Wish that I could cry, fall upon my knees, find a way to fly to a home I will soon see, and misunderstand, but don't be naive. Even heroes have the right to bleed. I may be disturbed, won't you concede? Even heroes have the right to dream, and it's not easy to be me. Get away from me, that it's alright. You can always start tonight. I'm not crazy or anything. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. Men were meant to ride with clouds between their knees. I'm only man in front of red sheet, digging for kryptonite on this one red street. Only a man in front of red sheet, looking for special things inside of me, inside of me, inside of me, inside of me. It's not easy to be